Okay, yeah, you get you a link right now. Hell yeah.
Yeah, drop the link for me.
God, dog.
Wow, they said she's only heard the term simp here. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That-
All I saw was simplistic. I perceived him as simplistic in primitive. I mean simplistic. So isn't that downgrading somebody's opinion? Simplistic. I mean, that's the way he views it, and there's plenty of receipts that he brings. I
I'm
mean,
not.
he brought up the receipts when it comes to knockout percentages. He brought up the receipts when it came to resumes. He brought out plenty of receipts. So what's simplistic? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is simplistic?
Yeah,
What
man.
is simplistic? What is
Just
simplistic about what Coach said? He brought
it's just
out
simple.
numerous receipts. He even said that he agrees with all of your talking points. I'm going to be thrown in the peanut gallery now. He even said that he agrees with Stamina, all of your talking points when it comes to Sarge and missing weight,
Nah, I don't
and
have.
he needs to move up and all that.
My
So
thinking,
what's simplistic?
my thinking ain't simple,
I,
man. Listen,
I just don't. I
my
can't.
thinking ain't simple. My
Anybody I
thinking
rock
is
with that I know who they are, I'm not going to say it's simplistic. It's just not me.
that's okay. No,
I
I'm
got
with
love
it.
for you, but I gotta call it. I gotta call that how I see it.
All right,
Sometimes
Stam,
I'm not a Spurs coach. Sometimes
dropped
I
it,
am.
dropped it. But I'm not simplistic though. Okay, nah, man, my thoughts ain't simple. Okay, and I don't know. There's another way. Simple,
Well, actually,
simple-minded.
simple is actually an insult in American culture. I've
Or,
heard
or
it a lot.
or
I mean, you call somebody a simp,
hold
or you
on.
call somebody simple, or
Yeah,
simple,
see,
whatever.
over here in America, that's disrespectful. I ain't simple because that's almost like calling somebody dumb. But trust me, my IQ high. I might have this southern accent, I might have this draw. Okay, but don't mistake that as being simple at all. Okay, trust me. I know a whole lot of stuff about a lot of things. Okay, I know a lot of stuff about a lot of things. Okay, wait a minute, is he calling in? Hold
No,
on.
go through the link
Wait a minute. No,
because we're
this
not
not
gonna be able to hear it.
it's not
Hey,
stamina. Oh, this Dennis Espinoza.
here's the Dennis here.
Dennis, you should have
Dennis.
asked for a link, man.
Oh, I'll take a link.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
just okay.
Thanks, man.
You know who it was? Dennis Espinosa on the panel, man.
And then you said cockamamie thought process. Come on, stamina, go with the cockamamie thought process. What are you
Nah,
talking about? I'm just seeing that too. You talk about cockamamie thought process.
ain't no
What?
cockamamie in that, man. What? Because I
See, I'm
think
going back.
Sarge.
Why would
Oh,
it say
okay.
go back and read comments? And I see talk about cock. I mean, it is what it is. But you know.
Nah, but anything with simp in it, that's an insult. That's me. But okay, if you meant simple thinking, I don't care what it. I don't care. Look, I ain't simple. Okay, I ain't simple. I ain't simple at all. Okay. So just because I think that Sarge Eubanks did well. Okay. Please, I ain't trying to hear that, man. Nah, I ain't trying to hear all that, man. Jessica, Jessica ain't off the hook. Okay, our brother, he in the building, man. Stamina, what's going on, man? Simple thinking. I don't care what it. I don't care. Look, I ain't simple. Okay, I ain't simple. Simple at all. Okay. So
What's that? The other tab?
nah, man, that's Dennis Espinosa in the building.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's
Okay.
get
What's
it.
going on, Stamina? What's going on,
So,
brother? You're in the building. What's going on, man?
Yeah, it was
It's
just
better than the comment section.
it was way better. It was getting a bit chaotic, so I just thought let me keep quiet until it sorts itself out.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Coach got a little bit wrong. I mean,
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little.
it's over here. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I
when
apologize,
you bring
man. Thank
receipts,
you.
when you bring receipts, I mean, there's a thought process. It might be a different thought process, but that's the only, and it's not an issue. But it is what it is with it. But I'll let Coach and whatever.
well, no, I got out of it.
Nah,
The stamina was saying it's simplistic to think that people cannot be objective and criticize somebody without disliking them. That was his statement. He didn't
There it is.
okay,
name
okay.
anybody's name it all. That's just like you guys using you all and all, right?
Uh huh.
The people think that, so we're all in there in the chat room. You say you all. Well, no, I don't think that way. I think
Well,
most
you
of the
just
people.
said you guys, and I don't say y'all. So I mean, it's easy to do that. I
Yeah,
mean, just
so you guys,
let it fly.
it's the same thing. So Stamina says it's simplistic to think that you can't criticize a fighter for the performance and think that you must not like them. So you can objectively criticize someone without liking them or disliking them, is what I think Stamina is saying, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. And that's what I said was that he thinks that is, and that I agree. That's simplistic thinking to think that you can't criticize. If you criticize someone, it must mean you dislike them. No, it doesn't necessarily do so. But he didn't name names or say who, right?
I never said that. I'm gonna tell you what I said was.
Yeah.
What I said
Yeah.
is that you know what? It's a few of y'all, man, including you, Stamina. Y'all already said that y'all don't like her personality. Okay, and I think part of that does, man. Part of that has, man. Come on, because it's like y'all picking out all the negative stuff what she did instead of can't nobody see anything that this girl did right. I mean, y'all can't see nothing. Like just honestly, so everything she did was just garbage in there.
Again, I don't know who y'all is, but she did enough right to win the fight. I'm straight up. I'm honest with you. I thought her attitude afterwards was a little weak because she was acting like she did something great. I don't know why the UFC had Roxanne in there. I wouldn't have had Roxanne in there. I respect Roxy because it's like she shouldn't even be fighting in my mind. I look at her and say, why in the world is she fighting? But she has a heart. She wants to do it. Okay, so be it. I have no idea why the UFC has her fighting that fight. I would have rather seen Sarge have a competitive fight so she could prove herself, and so that she can have something to leverage against her haters and saying, look, I did this and did good. And I hope they give Sarge a better opponent, a more quality opponent, a little higher up the ladder, so she can prove herself. It's not a matter of like or dislike. I don't know her. I don't know her life. I don't know her personally. There's nothing for me to like or dislike. I did dislike her attitude, like she thought she accomplished something great by beating Roxy, but it really wasn't, and that's the UFC's fault.
Okay, I agree with that, man. Yeah, I ain't like her attitude either.
Go ahead, Stamina.
Stamina, bro. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't have a great deal to add to that. That was pretty much me as well, really. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't recall any time that I've said I don't like Sijara's personality. I'm not going to say that you're wrong. If you say that I've said that, I'm not going to call you a liar. But if I did say that, it would have been in relation to things she's done very, very recently. And all of this talk regarding entitlement towards a title shot, towards spazzing on Twitter and other stuff like that. If you ask me what I think of her when I've watched interviews with her, I think she comes across as quite personable and quite whatever else, just a good human being, which is why the stuff that she's been doing of late hasn't really sat well with me, because it feels like a very much a departure from the kind of person that she actually is. And when people in life, never mind in fighting, do things that are not true to them because they feel like that's what they've got to do to get ahead, I don't really rock with that. I don't really respect that. I'm all about authenticity. So for her to be doing what she's doing now doesn't come across as authentic to me. I don't rate that. So that's why if you ask me what I think of that now, here, I don't like that. But that's something else entirely. That's unconnected to her capabilities as a fighter. That's something else entirely.
Okay.
But
Now,
see,
like I said
what's-
before, now Stamina said he said some solid things. Like I said before, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Now, me particularly, I try to be pretty careful because I know how people react. But if it does, there's 42 people watching and there's 18 likes. Now, that's a common occurrence. So when coach says you all, and every once in a while I might say that, but I try to correct myself. Who do you think it's talking to? Now, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Nobody is talking about, well, I mean, maybe some of you have had, different standards. I don't know, but if it doesn't apply, let it fly. 42 people watching once again, 18 likes.
Well, let's back that up a little bit. So Stamina didn't use anybody's name when he said that was simplistic thinking. Coach misread it and thought he was being called a simp.
What about the cockamamie? What about the cockamamie thought process?
Didn't name anybody there either.
I didn't read that comment, so I'll let Stamina reply.
Yeah. Well, it was there. Oh no, God, you about to take a walk down the hallway. Don't take the walk, Dennis. Where you go?
Oh man, Dennis done took the walk down the
Yeah,
I gotta
hallway.
get up and
that's all.
move,
I
man.
mean, I got love for you, Dennis. I got love for stamina. It's all good. But
I'm
I
still listening. I'm still here. I just can't sit down for very long because it's bad for my back. I got to stand and move around.
Oh,
no, no,
okay, bro.
no,
I'm sorry, man.
no problem. No problem. Uh, me
Okay,
particularly,
with
me
stamina.
particularly. 'Cause okay, go ahead, Coach.
I'm sorry, man. I misread it, bro. So I didn't mean to flip because yeah, if I start cussing, man, that's out of character. So, and I try not to do that. So I apologize, man, because I thought it was an insult, bro.
No. Think no more of that. That's a simple misunderstanding, and that's very very easily fixed. I don't care about that so much. Like that's whatever. That never happened as far as I'm concerned. We're more to do with just the coexistence of opinions is more what I'm here for rather than that. I could clear up that simplistic comment in 30 seconds, but Dennis even beat me to it. So we're good with that.
Yeah,
But it's more just the thing of opinions existing within the same space that I'm more here for. You brought me on here 24 to 48 hours ago because of the balance that I can provide in
Good.
regard to discussion and whatever else.
yeah.
That hasn't changed in the space of a day and a bit. I'm
No,
still that person and I'm still capable of all that stuff. And
Amen.
yeah, so just the idea that, to bring it back full circle, the idea that people that are in any way critical of Sarge are people that dislike her and they aren't able to separate their dislike from their objective breakdown and assessment of her fighter skills. I'm not trying to hear that. I reject that. I'm not on that at all.
well,
I believe that there are a bunch of people here that are very capable of making that distinction. And the notion of, if it doesn't apply, let it fly, is kind of tenuous as well, insofar as, yeah, okay, there are 18 likes, there are 45 people watching, but even the idea of speaking to people that may or may not be watching, because you only know who's actually engaging with the chat section. So if anyone in the chat isn't actually saying what's related to what coach is saying, then who is being spoken to? We'll never know who those other 30 odd people are. We
They
have no
they
idea.
well,
know who
listen.
it is.
Okay,
They know
okay.
who they are.
So
Like
listen, man. Listen,
Yeah,
listen,
but,
listen, listen,
but
listen,
if they're
listen,
not,
listen.
but if they're not
Okay,
looking, if they're
hold
not
on. What?
watching,
Okay, Dennis, I ain't mean to cut y'all, but here's what I'm
good.
gonna do. See, I wanna debunk that whole notion that people they can dislike somebody and totally dismiss their skill sets. Let's look at Chris Cyborg. Okay, now that's the number one person on the no love list. Now I'm gonna tell you something right now. Every time Chris get a win, I don't care what she do, how she win. If it's not impressive, they talk. If it's impressive, they talk. So
Mm-hmm.
I think Chris Cyborg is that person. And if you don't like a person, I'm telling you, with this demographic of the UFC fight fans, okay, that actually are in the UFC, they definitely cannot like it. They can dislike a person and disregard their skill sets. I've seen it on so many levels, okay? Of MMA, I've seen it in
Oh,
boxing. That is totally possible when people.
100%.
It's
I'm not
it's
saying it's
completely
not
possible.
possible. It's just not possible here with us. We don't do that. And the thing that I'm taking issue with is that you're on stream effectively talking to us, even though we're not the entirety of your audience. We are the only ones who are choosing to respond with you and choose to do so regularly. That's what we're here for, to
Yeah.
interact with you. So when you talk, we are talking back to you. So when you're saying this stuff that doesn't apply to any of us that are always here to talk to you, this is why we're like, what are you doing? It doesn't make any sense. You're talking to a bunch of people that are none of us.
You're talking to people that agree
uh,
with you, and you're missing. You're not reaching the audience that you want to reach when you're
Well,
making the points you're trying to make. They're not. They're not on the stream. They're not listening.
so okay. Who dislikes Sarge Eubanks here?
Not me.
I mean,
I thought that
Come
fight was
on, man.
rubbish, but I don't dislike her. I don't dislike her at
Oh
all.
man,
I just like
man,
McGregor
come
and
on.
hey,
Covington.
I think
I
you
just like
understand this,
McGregor and
Devin.
Covington.
I use a lot of caveats in my language. Hold up. I use numerous, almost too many caveats sometimes. I almost slip up using the caveats. Sometimes I'm not gonna do it. So look, it is what I'm gonna go back to some of these videos, and I'm gonna look at who was saying, oh, what Jessica said, that wasn't what it was. That wasn't racist. We'll see.
Here's my thing. My thing is, okay, everybody criticizing Sarge for the same thing that Jessica doing. See, this is where I step in with this. Okay, I can understand. I can see the whole criticism. Hold on, guys. We gotta finish the
Someone's
thought.
calling.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hello. Hey, I'll open the phone lines up in about a second. So I can see the whole criticism. Okay, but there's got to be enough criticism to go around. Okay, first the criticism was Sarge Eubanks need to get off social media. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Hey, Jessica, I need to get off social media. Well, it's not the same thing. I mean,
It's
okay,
not.
Who
it
said
is.
that?
It
Who
really
said
is.
that wasn't the same
Oh,
thing?
it's the exact same thing. See,
I'm
listen,
I'm saying that it's not the same thing.
it is.
I'm saying
It,
it's
it, it
not the
most
same.
it, it most certainly is the same thing. Okay, first of all, you got a big fight versus Chikagian coming up. I mean, don't you think that we might want to go ahead because now you what three? Were you 3 weeks out or 4 weeks out for that fight? Don't you think, okay, that she need to be focused instead of worrying about what Sarge doing, instead of worrying about Valentina, instead of making comments about who fighting who? She got a big fight. Probably this is a defining fight for her that could probably determine a title shot. So it's the same thing. Cause Sarge,
No, no, no,
no
it's
man,
not.
Sarge
It's
got on man.
not.
No man, nah
It's not
man,
the same
it is.
thing.
It's the exact same thing.
It's not the same. And you know
Yeah, it
what? I'll
is.
tell you what, it's
It's
not the
it's the
same
exact
thing.
same thing.
It's not the same thing
Yeah, it
because
is.
ultimately, the issue is not ever about how much time is elapsing with that person being present on social. That's not what it is. No one's actually concerned about how they are spending their time specifically, like the time that they spend with their phone in their hand is time away from the gym. That's not what they're talking about. What they're talking about is that the time that's actually spent on social media is actually doing damage to their brand, is damaging relationships with the audience, with other people, with their peers, and all that other stuff. The kind of stuff that Sarge has been saying, especially when the 230 debacle was in play, was inarguably worse to any. Well, okay, do you know what? I'll say,
I gotta
No,
wait,
push
wait,
back.
wait,
nope,
wait, wait,
nope,
wait,
nope,
no, no,
no, no, no,
stop,
no.
stop.
Just
I'm
nope.
pumping. I'm pump. Leave
See,
me. I'm pumping my own brakes. Leave me alone.
okay.
Stop. Wait.
Was-
I'm pumping my own brakes.
But
Okay.
Stamina, if I was making racist comments on social media, she's also damaging her brand.
yeah,
No,
I mean, I was a fan of Jessica.
100%.
I was a
100%.
fan of Jessica. I mean, well, what about me?
Yeah, I was a fan too.
I was a fan. Well, I wasn't. I was about to lie right there. Or just, I mean, I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything against. Yeah, I could pump my brakes too. I didn't have anything against. Who's Nico's friend? The
Hey,
one that says she trained with her. She
Roxy,
did.
Roxy was a friend.
The one that was on the drugs.
oh, Lauren.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lauren Murphy.
She disrespected
Oh,
the
really?
fans.
What did Lauren do?
Oh, she sure did.
She brings ass.
Yeah, she
She
sure
dis-
did.
She disrespected the fans.
What did Lauren do? I missed that bit. What did Lauren
She
do?
said, "We the fans don't know what they're talking about. They don't know shit. They don't know crap about MMA when the fans are talking about Nico." Okay. Now, like I always say, I don't expect everybody to make a video. Not everybody even makes videos. Me personally, I'll just say this: too many people in MMA have different energy. Stamina, you're a pretty damn objective guy. All right.
I tried to be.
You're a pretty dang objective guy. Most people aren't like you. Okay.
Facts.
You can listen to what me and coach are saying. You can listen to different arguments and you'll think about it, you'll brainstorm on it, you'll consider different things. Most people aren't like that. So, and it's also a cultural thing when you say y'all and this and that. It's not to you unless it is to you. And that's my thing. And even though I wasn't really saying it, I have to come to coach's defense in that.
But let me give you another.
Not talking.
Let me give you another example.
Look.
We're kind of past that.
Okay.
We're kind of past that. But
Here's the
anyway,
thing.
people have different energy.
Here's the thing.
I was a fan of Jessica I, and Jessica I disrespected me.
She
I
sure
was
did.
decent when it came to Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy disrespected us.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar has disrespected the fans. So many people have disrespected the fans.
And Jessica,
So many people.
up on the screen for y'all reading pleasure. Up on the screen, and I had to do this. I put this up here just for our reading pleasure. Jessica I. See, she had to interject that whole huge big black man thing. She had to interject that. Nah, it was too good to pass up for Jessica I. Jessica I was a little suspect, but I was saying, nah, maybe she cool. Maybe Jessica just, that's how she is. So I was like, okay, Jessica. But no, when Jessica came out with this, and actually Jessica wouldn't even respond when people was asking her, well, Jessica, could you clarify what you mean? Look,
Mm.
man, and Jessica refused to clarify. I'm sorry. Anybody making posts like this that's up on the screen, anybody, okay? I cannot call them. I can't be a fan of them. I cannot do anything to help push or promote their brand. Jessica I to me is a racist. I don't care how many black people she do interviews with. I don't care how many black folks she chill with. So that trumps almost everything. Matter of fact, it trumps everything. Okay, so that's why I'm saying Jessica I need to get off social media. Okay, Jessica I need to start getting ready for Caitlin Chikagian. Okay, because it don't seem like she's doing a whole hell of a lot to get ready for this fight. Okay, I mean, when I go to social media, I mean, it's like she's making comments about other people. I mean, that's what it looked like to me. It don't seem like, I don't know, is she not taking Caitlyn serious? I would think she would. So why is she not doing what she's supposed to be doing?
Well, that's a matter of professionalism. If I was a manager, my fighter wouldn't hardly ever be on social media. I'd yank that phone. I'd jump up and down on it. Because for a professional, I'm sure Ellaby spends time on social media. I'm sure Chris wouldn't even, it wasn't a language issue. I want to go back a quick second on that all thing. If you say to a group of men rape women, the first response is going to be, well, not all men rape.
Yeah.
That's going to be the response. That's going to be the response. That's why the all thing is really shouldn't. You change the verbiage there so you can account for that reaction. Otherwise, you'll alienate people.
Every time say
Well,
to the people
it
who
ain't trying to alienate
to the
nobody, man.
people, every single sentence is not gonna be to the people who dislike. I mean, okay, then we're not gonna. It's all right.
But see,
No, we're not. We may
Some
not.
people,
But I see what you're
some
saying.
people dislike you, just Sijara, Eubanks, and they can't be objective, and they just put the
I
bill
agree
down.
on that. I agree on that.
Some
I
people
agree
do.
on that. I agree on that. That we agree on. I think most just don't like her. I
Yep.
think most
Yeah.
of the people here are
Yeah,
objective.
that's not.
Mary,
Maybe not
please,
Mary.
Mary, please
I think
come
we
on.
agree on that.
I think it's a lot of people. I think it's a lot of people here that just don't like her.
Well,
Like, and I,
maybe that too. You
and,
know, I
and, you
think
know,
I was.
and I'm not
But that's
saying
okay.
anything. That's how they feel. But I think some people do get frustrated with people, man. That sometimes they can't. And I'm not. Well, it's a lot of people in. Well, it's a few people in here, and we know, man. I have about 20 or 15 people who they definitely can't stand. They just sit there. They don't like me. So I can actually say I can talk to some of those people. Some of the comments that y'all don't see. It's a lot of people that leave crazy comments. But what I'm saying is the majority of the MMA community, you know, they have taken a stance that my argument is that Sarge Eubanks, they taking a stance that she didn't do anything right, or she sucked. And that's fine if you think she's not a good fighter. That's okay too. But to completely say that this girl did nothing right, okay? When we got somebody else sitting over here who doing the same thing, but I'm telling you, she over here, she making comments, got a big fight coming up, got this huge fight coming up, and she's sitting on social media talking junk, calling people names, doing all kind of stuff when she got this big fight. Just got out of two mediocre fights herself, but nobody not putting this girl on task. Okay, ain't nobody putting her to the task. Like why? Like why is Jessica I walking away clean?
Because
Why does
Jessica is not fighting.
she's about to fight? She's about to fight.
Exactly, and that's when she'll get it. Because actions are one thing and words are another.
You guys, y'all not gonna give Jessica I no
if
words.
she can
Y'all
do
not.
the do, then she gets to say whatever. Because Sarge didn't really do what A, she said she would do, and B, what people wanted her to do.
She wanted
That's
to
why
fight.
she's getting.
Okay, but
I
what
will
about
get-
when
But she wanted
Correa
to fight.
to Ronda Rousey and Ronda Rousey knocked her out afterward?
I'm sorry, what was that? Sorry?
I was saying, what about when Betch Correa said she was going to make Ronda Rousey pay and she was going to smash her and all this other stuff, but Ronda Rousey finished her in the first round?
Right.
I don't care about Ronda Rousey.
I'm sorry, I'm just waiting for the punchline. What
Yeah.
point are you making? I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, and Joanna Jacek said she'd fight, Valentina whenever, and she wasn't really held to that standard. But I do see your point about, Sarge. She talks too big of a game, and but I saw good things in the fight. But
she wanted
that's
to fight.
really the thing, Joanna Jacek, and I know some people, whoever, might not like it, but I mean, she said certain things, and I said something about her. I mean, she said she'd fight Valentina whenever. I mean, we have it on. We have the coach. Was it on was the video? Or, I mean, we have the quote.
Yeah, there's a video. It's on quote, man. She said what she said was.
That's my thing.
What okay, so what she said was, okay, they asked Joanna, they said, Joanna, they asked about, fighting Valentina. Joanna was like, yeah, I'm good with that. And then they said that, well, they still don't have a main event for November the 3rd. And Joanna, she said, well, if they need me to come for a main event, hell, I'll do it. I'll go. I'll be a main eventer. And then, she turned around, and then when they said, okay, we need you to be the main event, Joanna was like, well, no, because and I got to prepare for Valentina. Well, wait a second now. You just said. So what the UFC did, they took that and said, okay, so we can change this fight card because Joanna is already cool with it. But see, Joanna didn't know that they were going to have her fighting Valentina a month earlier. So that's my whole thing, okay? So this is where the whole rift started. So Sarge Eubanks took the fight. Like, again, I'm saying, what is Sarge supposed to say? Oh, I'm going to say no to a six-figure payday. I'm going to say no to a chance at the title. I'm going to say no to all of that. Okay, so people got angry at Sarge because she said yes. Okay, Jessica I started doing her thing on social media because Sarge said yes. Okay, lots and lots of people start calling this girl out her name, calling her a man, calling her all kind of stuff because she accepted an opportunity that could change her life. Now, but she's supposed to say, no, I'm going to fight Jessica I because, we had an agreement. Jessica I would have did the same thing. Okay?
That's how she's damned if she do, damn if she doesn't. Gotta go back to the beginning.
This is Jessica I who said, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm not making enough money. Jessica I would have said, yeah. Okay? Jessica I would have said the same thing. So my thing is, why isn't Jessica being held accountable? Okay, some people are holding her accountable. I think some of us are doing that. But really, why is she not being held accountable for the stuff she's doing? Okay, I mean, she keeping all this stuff going. Okay, the girl making racist posts online. I mean, what the hell? Jessica I can do no wrong? No.
That gets back to my conversation.
I'm sick of that, man.
The only people that can really hold them accountable for behavior, they should have a code of conduct, is UFC, right? People can talk shit on chat and try to run people down that should be held accountable, but it won't have any effect really a whole lot. The only thing that has an effect is UFC and hitting their pockets.
Well,
and, Mary and I agree, the UFC needs to have a code of conduct and a way to enforce it.
And the sad thing,
that's a good point. It's also the perception of the fans, though, Dennis. You know what I mean? Because if the fans allow certain things, you know what I mean? If the fans allow certain things, the UFC, if the fans speak out, the UFC will abide by it. If they don't, then they won't. And that's why I brought up Joanna on J-Check. Okay,
if the fans speak out, it's going to affect their bottom line. Yes, will have an effect. But that's the only way the fans have an effect.
Well, being a racist will affect your bottom line. What the hell is this? Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Kobe Covington, Jessica I, all these people going unchecked, man. They going unchecked. But so Sarge get mad, and I'm with y'all on this. Okay, Stamina, all of y'all. I'm with all of y'all. I'm with y'all. Okay, when she said what she said to some of her fans that's trying to support her. Me in general, we got on here and told y'all that, listen, man, she was acting kind of shady to us. So, we
went hard on her.
Yeah, so we went in, man. We went in just like, but what I'm saying is, okay, is Sarge Eubanks the worst of the worst? Not really. Not really. Not really.
Not really. Just no. Like, categorically, no. She's not the worst. No way.
Do we like what Sarge said? Hell no. I mean, nobody on this panel is going to say that they really love the comments. I guess the argument, people missing with me is that, okay, and I'm not saying y'all. See, when I say y'all, I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about, like, people who literally said that this woman is a garbage fighter. Like, literally people who saying that, BJJ and Black Belt. Okay, well, her talent, some of the people she fought, she didn't do a great job. She fought Aspen Ladd, man. She fought Aspen Ladd, who's a knockout artist. She got through that fight. Okay? I mean, she got through that fight. And Caitlin Chikougian, she went the distance with Caitlin Chikougian, who is, the number 3 ranked of flyweight. So, I mean, I think she's gotten better. Now, I'm going to phrase it, now, is there things she need to work on? Yeah, I agree with y'all. She need to move her head. Okay? Like, Sarge don't move her head. Her jab has gotten better. I mean, she's setting up her power strikes with her jab. She's doing that. I always used to notice Sarge throwing these wild looping punches. Now she's actually a little bit more precise with the jab. Okay, I mean, her ground game, she avoided a lot of contact on the ground. So I'm seeing all of this stuff. So I don't think she completely like, oh, well, she's just garbage. Nah, I mean, she does do things right. There's some things she need to work on. But nah, I can't. I'm not feeling that, man. And I even think, the fight with her and Jessica should have happened because I actually think, in my opinion, I think she beat Jessica. I don't like Jessica either, but Jessica got some hands. Jessica don't throw enough combinations to me, but Jessica got hands. She got good hand speed. See, I can find the good in what these fighters do. Okay. Oh, okay.
Any,
Mary.
any,
Yeah.
any objective person can. The reality is, what do you
Okay.
think the IQ of the middle of the bell curve MMA fan is? There's a lot of ignorance out there. You can let ignorance drive the conversations, or you can talk about something constructive. I wouldn't let ignorant people drive my discussions. I'll throw those 2 cents out there to you.
I hear you. Sometimes it's like with that whole
We
Anthony
gotta let
Joshua
Mary
and
talk,
her
y'all.
thing. You got to destroy that narrative, and you got to establish yours. Because if you don't, if you ignore it, if you ignore it, some former they say this, sometimes I question they
We
say
gotta let.
former. I question it when they say former sometimes because you can't trust some of these dudes. But a former neo-Nazi said that they get stronger when um
Yeah, dog.
when you don't address it, and when I forgot the other one, when you don't address it or then you allow it, it gets stronger. And it's the same
We
with
got.
any other narrative. You gotta push back. You have to push back against it. You just have to. And in regards to here's another story. All right.
Yep.
So last stream I corrected myself. I said I think Mike Perry might beat Cowboy Cerrone. Now, I just left a comment on Cowboy Cerrone's page. I was like, man, you know what? The brothers, we got your back, man. Thank you for calling out that racist. He liked the post. I appreciated it. I still think Mike Perry's going to beat him. And with certain people, no, a large majority, not y'all, they don't allow their they let their bias get in the way of what judging the performance in the ring. And when I speak to them, that causes a rift in them, and they have to question themselves. And it's powerful to address that. Like that stalker and that harasser. When we speak, we say certain things, and it hits them. It hits them, and they react to it, and it destroys that mechanism inside of them. So I can not like Joanna Jacek, and I'll still judge her performance. However, now only the individual knows. Look, we all have flaws. We know none of us are perfect. We all slip up. That's life. But only an individual truly knows. On the individual level, only a person really knows, how consistent they are, and it's a constant journey. But just to kind of really conclude that for me, me personally, when I call out that people, it's I have to, you know.
Okay.
But only a person will
Let's
really know if they let their dislike of Sarge,
let's do
judge
this.
performance or not, or even if they did, or even if they do dislike her. Only an individual knows.
Hey guys, y'all do me a favor, man. Let's let Mary and Wilders get in,
Yes, yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
yeah, cause we over
I'm sorry.
talking. Um, okay, Mary been waiting to get in, and then Mary, then Wilders. All right.
Yeah, yeah, the question is, I believe one of you, most likely you, coach, said that the I and Choo Choo fight is supposed to be the contender fight for after Valentina gets through with JJ. The winner of that fight should be fighting Valentina next. So if I somehow end up beating Chikugan and she moves up, so who should Sijara fight next?
Chikugian.
So Sijara should just fight Shaku and she wins, then she'll move up.
Yeah, if Chikugian loses, I think she need to fight Sajar. But I mean, honestly, because at first I was saying, I think the winner, Sarge, should fight the winner of that fight. No, wait a minute. Let me get my stuff straight. I said that Sajar. No, what did I say? No, I said that Chikugian and
Valentina
Sarge
should fight the winner of
of
I and
Chikugian.
Shakugan.
No, I said that. I said okay. I said that Chikugian and Sarge should fight, and I said that Valentina should actually fight the winner of those two, since they were already going to give Sarge a title shot, and I thought that Chikugian deserved a title shot more so than Sarge did. But I said if the UFC, if they're gonna make that fight, if they're gonna give Sarge a fight, or if they're gonna do this, then I felt like Chikugian and Sarge should have a title eliminator bout because they're the two top in the division according to the rankings. But the rankings we know don't mean a damn thing. But according to their own rankings, those two should have had a title eliminator, and the winner should have gotten Valentina. That's how it should have went down. But I think that this fight, which I don't think Jessica has done nothing to really get up there in the title shot. Neither has Sarge. I just think that that's going to be a title eliminator bout, and I think the winner of that fight, they're going to get a shot at Valentina. Because Roger, whenever I ask mention Jakugian, he will say no to Jakugian real quick. Like, but I think there's something. I think there's something they don't want to tell us. But I think that they probably do have Jakugian on their mind. And I think if Caitlin Jakugian beats Jessica, I think she is going to get a title shot.
And I think she should.
I think she's the most deserving because she's undefeated. Well, she's only had one loss, but that one loss, I thought they robbed her. Well, the fight was close, but when I watched the fight a third time, I thought Chikugian actually did enough to win. So I think Chikugian right now would still be undefeated. So she's only got one loss on her professional record. She's had a lot of fights. She's had a lot of amateur fights, and I've also said too that the way that she's being handled by the UFC. I just think that the UFC they're doing a very poor job with Caitlin Chikugian because she's actually the one doing a lot of the work. She's going in there, she's taking the tough fights. She just had a knockout drag out fight versus Alexis Davis. Where it was a close fight, but she beat Alexis Davis, and Alexis Davis is a trailblazer. That's not an easy fight for anybody, but she won. So I felt like just off that quality win alone, they should have been asking her, or she should be next in line to fight for that belt after Joanna and Valentina get they shine.
You know what I think of Chikugan? I think she's somebody that's like a super, super decent fighter, like very good and deserving of lots of stuff until the division starts to build up. As in, like she's one of those fight, one of those some of those fighters that are really good until the division starts to develop very well, and you have more and more of these seasoned, these ripe and hungry fighters that are coming up and just blazing through and everything, and they do good until they fight the champion, lose to the champion, and then after the champion, they just start going on a slippery slope because of the evolution of the weight class. I mean,
Okay, my girl Wildest Moments is in the building, Mary. Good point. Well, yeah, well, she in the building. Uh, Wildest Moments, how you doing? I know it's hard for her to get on here, guys. That's why I'm trying to hurry up and get to her.
Yeah, well, boys will be boys. Good.
Ah,
I had to stick that in there. No, I'm doing good. I'm going to do tonight. It's been a heck of a day already. There's been so much going on in the chat, a lot of going back and forth, and I think everyone's really making really great points. Sometimes with this comments, your tone and your intention doesn't really come across, so it can sometimes be difficult to sort of express your opinion or your thoughts on a subject, especially through that. So, but I don't really have any questions. To tell you the truth, I was just kind of joining in just to, you know, pass a little bit of time with you guys. But
Hi
Okay,
guys.
okay, and Rugby Queen is in the building. Well, why does
I
it?
only have 15
yes,
minutes. I'm on my
Hey,
break,
hey, Rugby.
15-minute break from work.
Okay, so we'll do
hey
this
Roger.
then. We'll do this, Wilders. We'll go ahead and
Okay.
we'll ask you. Okay. Um, who do you think? Let's talk about the Chikugian and I fight. Let's talk about that, and we'll get your breakdown on that. What do you think happens in that fight?
I really think that Caitlin's going to take that fight. I mean, she's just she appears to be a little bit more well-rounded. She's really good on the ground. She's got really great leg kicks, and like you said, she just came out of that fight with Alexis Davis. And I mean, she put on a hell of a fight. I mean, that was a really, really great performance, especially against somebody like Alexis Davis, who has the win against Amanda Nunes. I mean, really think about this, put this into perspective. I think she is going to be also a great contender. She's going to be really a great person to go against Valentina. But going back to that, I think that Caitlin will take the fight against I. I don't think it's going to be I don't think she's gonna go in there and like completely dominate. I think that Jessica has been hungry. She's got such chip on her shoulder. she's got so much to prove. She's always had something to say about how, most of her career was at 125 and all her losses were at 135. And, she had a lot to say about that, of course. So I think she's going to go in there with a lot to prove. So I think it's going to be a really good fight. But I see Caitlin really taking it. I think no matter where the fight goes, I think she's just going to have an answer to Jessica. Unless Jessica just really flat out makes it a very sort of a street boxing, sort of a dog fight, I don't know, kind of a fight. I think that she would take that. So
God dog.
Isn't this wonderful? I love it, man. How's it going, Wildest?
It's going good. I was just telling everybody my day's all messed up because I had to work today, and it was just like, yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Man, you've been doing a good job though, for real. I've been listening to you going back and forth with the coach.
Well, thank you.
It's really good together.
It's tough, with the come get this work. I did a lot of back in the day. I was on group. They call it masterminds or whatever. Back when I had this one mentor, so it wasn't any. I developed the skill to be able to. I'm actually kind of a quiet guy, but I'm very personable, but I'm naturally quiet. So, but I developed that skill and I kind of got away with it. But it's with practice and doing what you need to do and just showing up, being consistent, it gets better. So
yeah,
I appreciate it.
And I think it's good. I think, like we were talking about this, and I think the coach even says this, it's like, it's hard to really take the emotion out of it when you're trying to speak about something. But you've been doing a really good job. I just wanted to say that, Coach. Sorry about that. And I really did want to say Stanima did a really great job the other day debating when I wasn't available. Sorry about that. I think he really did a great job with that. So kudos to him.
Man, Stamina went in there.
Me and Coach was talking about that, Stamina. Me and Coach, I was just saying, Stamina, you did a really good job doing that.
Stamina regulated, man.
There's nothing but love here. We might disagree and stuff on certain things, but it's all love. And that's why I actually prefer you coming on.
Stamina regulated.
Because we actually need you to come on more, and you hold me and Coach's feet to the fire, and that's a good thing. That we always embrace it. We don't run from any smoke. We don't run. We want all the smoke. Like Tatiana says, she catch 20 fades a day. We want all the fades. It's good. This type of thing is good. But I know I got a little when that dude came in here talking about that guy. I mean, motherfucker, my name's on here.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying?
The coach did that already.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to bleep that part out of there, man. I'm gonna have to bleep it out. I gotta figure out how to do that, though. I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I do. I do know how to do it. Okay.
It's gonna be back to back.
Ruby Queen says she only got 15 minutes, so let's go ahead and hear. I want to hear her thoughts on
the fight.
On the fight and anything else, because we ain't even got to the other topics, man. I want to talk about my boy Israel in a minute, but go ahead, Ruby. Go ahead and cook.
Well, I think Caitlin's gonna come out on top, but I do think Jessica I is very hungry, and I do think she's gonna really try to bring it. So she's, like I said, she's very hungry. I think she's coming to fight, and but I just feel like Caitlin's just a little bit more on another level. She's very well rounded, and I was very impressed with her fight against Alexis Davis, because that was a very tough fight, and she just did really well against her. So yeah, she's definitely going to be a good contender for anybody in the division right now. So I do see her coming out on top, and yeah, I mean, and yeah, we can all have our opinions, disagree, even though I may go extreme and go hard on some topics, and I know you guys still love me, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Man, what? Yeah. That's not even no question, Rugby Queen. Yeah, that's not even a question.
Yeah, shoot, cause we be having that conversation.
Listen, we don't get sensitive about opinions. Now, somebody come on here disrespecting, we're gonna see another side. We don't get this. We don't get It's all love.
Man, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the great thing about this channel. You can really listen to everybody's opinions, and at the end of the day, we can agree to disagree. And that's the perfect thing about this channel.
then we argue about something else the next day. So that's what's gonna happen.
That's
Cause
what family
I'm
is,
I'm
right?
I'm, I'm gonna piss off Stamina, and then he gonna say something, and then we're gonna argue about it, and then next thing you know, that's how we do it, man. Me and TC Johnson piss him off. We argue about it, and then the next day we argue about something else.
I'll admit it. Some of your comments pissed me off, but it's okay because I still love you.
Hey, well, I love you too.
Yes, rugby. Yes.
Oh, come on,
God,
guys.
Rugby,
Group hug, everyone.
rugby.
Group hug, group hug.
God, dog, group hug. Oh man, well, yeah, love all y'all too, man. Y'all, y'all good people, man. Y'all good people. I'm just glad we get to come on here and talk junk. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I like to talk a lot of that, if you haven't noticed in my videos, but I don't care.
She put them shades on, man. It's a wrap. Them
I like
shades.
the
Yeah, yeah.
shades.
Yeah, now you put
People
them
ask
shades.
me why I leave it on. It's like, well, because I feel like it.
Yeah, I know when the shades on, the video finna be intense. So I just kind of sit back and watch.
Speaking of talk junk, where's Genesis at?
Yeah, where is she? I would love to hear her thoughts
Oh,
Oh man.
because it's fun to
oh, she
listen to her
love you,
talk
Stamina.
junk.
I
No,
know
she's
she.
amazing, bro. She's amazing.
Yeah. She
Well,
be going in
definitely.
on Brian Jensen, man. That'd be funny when she be getting on him, boy. She be like, I'm gonna need you to stop talking so damn much. I'm like, God, dog.
When did you say that?
Oh, she say
You
it
need
all the
to
time.
bring Channel MMA with Jay on soon.
Definitely. I like Jay. I like Jay. Got a lot of time for her. She's got a good energy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't mind. She work a lot too, man. Like you notice
Mm.
that she put all her videos on one day, man. Like, cause man, I think she worked. I think she told me she worked in an accounting firm or something. I know, girl, hella busy, man.
Mm.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, but I send a link. We should get the links to the mobcast when she can drop on. You know, but she really no nonsense, and she not trying to hear all the crazy talk, man. She really don't like a lot of the like she can't get into it, man. If it's a lot of like crazy sexual talk, which we don't do a whole lot of that here. We kind of keep it to fight, or
Yeah, only George.
oh,
We
God,
know who
dog.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's okay. Even George knows when to pull it back.
yeah.
Yeah.
George a good dude, man. George's my guy. She just not into that. She ain't into that. But okay, hey y'all, let's talk about Israel Adesanya, man. That win he had last night.
Oh wow.
Actually, coach, let me say
Woo!
one thing because I'm going to have to head out here soon.
Yep,
Like,
yep. She
can
getting
we
caught.
just take a step back and really think about what the rest of the year is going to hold for the flyweight division? I mean, this is going to get exciting.
Hmm.
We're finally going to get some movement going. The ball's finally going to get rolling. I mean, Valentina's going to fight Joanna. We all know that Valentina's going to win that fight. We have contenders, what they're labeling is a possible contenders fight coming up with Caitlyn and I. Then we have like Jessica Rose Clark fighting like Andrea Lee, I think. And then you have
God, dog.
Ashley Evans Smith fighting Antonina
Antonina.
Shevchenko.
Yeah, buddy.
There's some good stuff coming up to like end the year, and I can just see what the beginning of the year is going to be like. And Valentina's going to fight often.
Yeah, Valentina want
So,
to fight every month, man. It's just she having
mm,
problems trying to find people to fight her, man. That's really her problem. I mean, if y'all want to know why she been so inactive, it's just people keep pulling out and they don't want to fight her.
I
yeah, and
think the
that's why
UFC wants her to be champ because they know she'll defend. She won't hold up the division.
correct. Yeah. And I think you don't think about that sometimes when it comes to Valentina and Cyborg. It's like, why do you think that they can get so upset? I mean, this is their prime time right now. And people are fighting for, they're like not wanting to fight them, or like Amanda Nunes waiting 9 months to like get a fight, against her. People not, stepping up to fight Valentina. And it's like she fought, one time in February, and now she's gonna fight here in December, and that's gonna be it. That's a long time for being off. So, you know, I think
Chris
a lot of people don't think about that.
Chris Cyborg was pissed, man. Like
Hmm.
she was legitimately pissed. And even when I interviewed her, she was still pissed. Like, and I got to speak to her like for a little bit, man. And she was just like, yeah. you don't hold somebody up, because Chris said
Hmm.
I can't afford to fight once a year, and she said it. She said it's a money thing with her too, and I can understand because she just bought the house, and she moved her niece over there to California with her, and so that's why Chris doing all these things, man, like the video, she doing like personal training sessions. She's working with different fighters, trying to help them, and but when she worked with those fighters, she get that money. And Chris is a hustler. I think she still do the Zumba classes. I'm pretty sure. I think she still does those and brings in money. So it's kind of like dang, Amanda can afford to sit back and just fight once a year and not have to do anything. So she was like, "Yo, you said you be ready to fight." She said, "Don't pull out of the fight." And she was telling her that like so. Chris really does not. I mean, she really don't like Amanda Nunes. Like it's this is a whole nother level of personal. Because did you guys see the stare down? Like when they were looking at each other, like
Oh, she was
Chris
all business.
Chris wanted to fight her right there, like for
Yep.
real.
Mhm.
Chris
Hmm.
Cyborg wanted to fight that girl right there, man. But Amanda says she feel like hey, I need to really get this fight. I can see where Amanda's coming from a little bit. Like, well, I need to put on mask, but it's been almost a damn year, man. Come on. I mean, how much time do you need?
I mean, technically, she called her out in January. It was back in January when they were talking BS about that. So really think about this. And Chris is in here. I mean, she's trying to make a future for her. And she now has a daughter. I mean, she considers that's her daughter to her. So she's got a family as well. She's got a business. She's got future plans. She wants to do boxing. She wants to do a lot of other stuff. And Amanda can sit there and just be complacent with what her life is like right now. And she's happy just trying to live a normal life to a sense. But Chris is not about that, and that's the reason why she gets annoyed and so frustrated. It's like, you are holding me up. I'm having to take these other fights, and it's like she wants to have a money fight as well. And it's not because Amanda's going to be bringing in people, but it's because it's a competitive, somewhat of a competitive fight. So,
Okay. Anybody else got something to say about it? Cause man, I want to talk about Israel Adesanya, man. I was impressed
Hey,
with that dude.
coach, I got to head back on the floor,
Man, rugby queen guys.
unfortunately.
If
All
you
right,
have,
see you, Rugby Queen. Thanks for coming on.
Take
Yep,
care, Aki.
see you,
always a
Ruby.
pleasure. All right,
it,
bye,
Have a good
guys.
evening.
subscribe
All
to
right.
the great rugby queen. If you have not, trust me, when she put the shades on, it's a wrap.
It's
Whoever,
business.
it's all business, but she going in hard.
All right. I actually have to head out too. So, it was fun while it lasted.
Peace
Okay, you
out.
Yeah.
guys.
Take
All
care,
right. Y'all
Wildest.
stay safe. Have a
Take
good
care.
night. I hope to talk to you guys soon.
You
Yeah.
too.
Well, that's good.
I will
Good
talk to
night.
you soon, Wildest.
Yes, sir. You have my number.
Yes, ma'am. I will
All
hit
right.
you up.
Good night.
Good night. Okay. Okay. Well, God, dog. This stream been lit, y'all. God, dog.
Yep.
This stream been lit as hell. Like I don't even think it's been this lit, man. Okay, well, damn, Stan, we can start with you, man. Like, what are your thoughts been on Israel Adesanya, man?
Man, that fight delivered in abundance. Like from as soon as I saw the full card for 230, I'm just like, okay, on paper, it doesn't look like much. I can kind of take the main card, the rest of it, I can kind of toss a coin over. But of the main card, that's the main event as far as I'm concerned. That's what I want to see. I want to see that more than anything else the entire night. And sure enough, it delivered. That was it was a masterclass. I've never really liked Brunson's energy. I've never really liked him as a fighter. I've always thought he was just like one of those what these Jamaicans would call just like a big for nothing kind of fighter. He's big and he's got strength, but that's about it. He's not skillful, he's not technical, he's not stylish. He's just this big lumbering kind of idiot. So yeah, I wanted to see someone disassemble him in exactly the way that Adesanya did, and it was a joy to watch. I was super gassed. Loved it.
I thought the size was gonna be a problem, man, because Derek Brunson, that's a big dude, man.
Right?
And I'm like, God, man, how this little dude gonna deal with this, man? But he broke him down, man. I was impressed how he just really just broke the guy down, and then he clocked him, man. God, dog. And you just saw Derek Brunson get knocked out again, man.
Yep.
Man,
Poetry in motion.
yeah, man. And Derek Brunson was talking a gang, man. He was talking a gang of
The
crap.
most.
That's why he got knocked the fuck out.
God dog, God dog, Ruby. I mean, Mary. Yeah, I bleeped that out. Boop.
Oh yeah, it's the name of the game.
Yeah, Derek Brunson, man. I thought he was gonna go in there, man, and really try to make it a fight, man. Man, Israel hit that dude like one time, man. Derek Brunson kind of his knees buckled, man. Then he started trying to regain his man. I said Derek Brunson finna get knocked out, man, and boy, he got knocked out.
To be fair, when it comes to knees, it only takes one. Punches, yeah, okay, then yeah, one well-timed knee, which that first one downward was, anyone's going to be on skates after that. Knees are no joke, especially when they're running into it as well, because that's what happened.
Yeah, he
I
kept
mean,
his.
I never doubted Israel to begin with. He was always a decent, phenomenal fighter. People thought he could up his game with the ground game and everything. And for right now, he's doing pretty decent. He's wowing people. He's building a name for himself. He's shooting himself up the charts. So he's doing really well. If he continues to build himself and not get too arrogant and dig himself into holes and stuff, then he should be pretty good.
Man, God dog, somebody yawning. Hey,
You know what? I think that even Dana was saying yesterday that he kind of wants Israel to kind of pump the brakes a little bit, and they've got plans for him that are not necessarily as exciting as Israel himself has for himself or whatever. But I feel like just because of the way that Israel has won most of his fights so far, even if he were to lose his next one, whatever that next one is, I don't think it all goes away again. I don't think that the hype train that everyone wants to kind of like paint him and anyone that gets talked about with, I don't think that really applies to him now, because he's kind of shown what he's capable of. So even if he's bested by his next opponent, that doesn't mean he's rubbish all of a sudden, because he's done enough within the fights that he's had as to show that he's competent.
Right.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, in my opinion, I think he's the truth, man. I mean, his fighting style, it kind of reminds me of like a mix between like Joanna Jacek and John Jones. You see the combinations of 1-2 head kick, and then you see the elbows, and his punch variation is, the dude's just talented, man. I mean, he's a scary fighter. I saw one kick, it was like this weird, like kind of like scissor kick. He just knocked the guy, hit his head on the freaking octagon, on the cage, and the ref just called. He was like, that was it. I mean, to me, this guy is just, the sky is the limit, man. Even if the sky, it could even be a limit, that's my thought process when it comes to him. And Stamina, like you said, if he loses, the UFC better not friggin', just put him through the ringer. Just put him back in there. Just let him stay consistent. Just let him be him, and I think he'll be all right. Just let him be him, and we'll see what happens. But dude is solid. I mean, like I said, his punch variation. He's throwing these combos that I haven't seen before, to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
Just a solid fighter, and I want to see what comes from him.
Yeah, I want to see him build a legacy.
Yeah, it'd be nice, man. I hope he the guy, man. I hope he's the one that's gonna do the right thing, man. I hope he don't get caught up, or I hope he don't get that John Jones disease, because
I think he's smarter than that. I've watched him for a little bit. I followed him for a little bit. He's talented. He's intelligent. He's got skills. If he reminds me of anybody, he reminds me a little bit more of Anderson Silva, because of his angles.
That's a good one.
Angles and the way he strikes. He really, if he's close to anyone, as far as reminding me of anyone, it's Anderson Silva. I'm really interested in seeing how far he goes and what his next step is. He talked about, taking some time off now, because he's had what, 4 fights this year, and so he's going to take a break, which is smart, and it'll be interesting to see what his next challenge is and how he takes that. But I'm with you, General Africa. I think he should go far. He should go far. He even mentioned him to Jacare during the press conference. And Jacare said he was impressed with his performance, but Jacare said, well, I did the same thing to Brunson, only better. Now we know what else is Jacare going to say. So it'll be interesting if he climbs into that top 10 and see what happens.
That's what I'm talking about. Jacare pretty tough dude too, man.
Oh,
Jacare,
he was good. I like that. That was an entertaining fight as well.
Jacare knocked that boy head off, man.
Oh yeah, it was so good. Yeah, people really thought Weidman was winning and stuff. Even on the full time MMA live stream, people had Weidman win. I'm like, how? It was 1-1. At least to me, like I thought Weidman won the first round. Jacques managed to squeeze out the second round, so third round was up for grabs. I don't know. That's just how I saw it.
I had Weidman winning one, and one of them can be close, but I would have given that to Weidman too. Thing I saw is Weidman's just not as tough. Weidman hit him. Jacare kept on coming, and he just wore Weidman down. And Jacare had the skills and got, that when they swung and Jacare knocked them out, they almost hit each other simultaneously. And Jacare just caught him better. Jacare gutted it out because Weidman was sort of picking him apart a little bit. And picking him apart a little bit, but Jacare is tough.
The thing
I
is,
think
Jacare's
sorry.
style. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Jacare's style, he is he fights kind of like Romero. He is a charge up, like he likes to charge up, let you hit him a bit, and then he explodes and comes back to sort of even the playing field. And I don't really find that the most efficient way of fighting. I mean, I guess it fits him because he knows how to do it. But with that kind of thing, when you explode and it doesn't work out as well as you want it to, then you end up losing fights. You lose rounds. Like it's a bit more risky, and it's not as consistent as how Weidman kept, trying to pump the jabs and actually, pop a few significant strikes on him. You can't just stand there and let them keep tagging you and stuff, and then try to explode it. 'Cause that doesn't always work.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And it shortens your career too.
Yeah, I mean, Jacare, I think I had the first round. I don't know. The first round was so close to me, I wasn't sure about it. And then I can't remember whether I had who, but it was going to be it was a really close fight for a while because, like you said, Mary, Weidman was so consistent. But Jacare or Sousa, sometimes I call him Sousa. He started coming back. I don't remember where I had it. I don't remember if it was I had Weidman winning the second, and then Jacare was winning the third. I don't remember, but one thing about Jacare, if he can just get hit a little bit less, because he has really good head movement most of the time, but sometimes he gets it's weird because he has good head movement when so many punches are coming at him, okay? But then he gets hit when it's just 2 punches or just one. And if he can, he got that rock head, but if he can get hit a little bit less, I mean, dude's just a beast, man. And when he hit him, that was a brutal punch. I mean, and I don't want to go too hard on the ref, but I mean, that was a knockout. He knocked him out.
No, go hard on the ref. That was crazy.
I mean, he should have just.
Crazy.
I mean, yeah, it was a knockout. I mean, and then he came back. Weidman came back just to get knocked out again. I'm like, dude, that is terrible. That's so dangerous. But dude is a beast, and he's so humble, man. He's the history. I'm supporting him. I was just telling Coach, I'm like, he reminds me of Cyborg when it comes to humility. I'm definitely a fan now. That was my first time watching him. I'm a fan. He has my support.
Yeah, he's good. I just wish he changed a little bit with that as he gets older, because that will take a toll on you further down the career.
I think that ref swallowed a Mario Kawasaki pill.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
He took some type of pills.
I don't know what that ref wanted. You know, he wanted him to just stretch out his tongue line to the side of his cheek or something. Like, dude,
Did you
he was
see?
clearly out.
Yeah, his arm was supine, whatever. Like, did you notice that? It was kind of like his right arm was like extended out, like he was out. He was out, man.
Yeah, I saw a funny video where they morphed. Is it Margoleta? Where the referees they morphed his face into Mario's face with a lot of evil laughter. It was funny.
Oh,
Oh
God.
boy.
People are
Y'all
wicked.
crazy. Y'all crazy. God dog, y'all crazy. Having fun though. Oh shoot, man. Well, guys, we done exhausted all the topics, man. We done exhausted all of them. But my hometown boy, Rinaldi. Y'all don't even know who Rinaldi is, man. That's my boy, man. Well, he ain't my boy, but I see him around town. I see him around town sometimes. And I told Rinaldi, I said, yo, man. I said, man, I tried to get you to do a drop for me, man. And he said, man, I'm shy. I said, bro, how the hell you shy, man? How are you shy and you in the octagon beating up people? He goes, nah, man, that's a whole nother shyness, man. That's what he said. But, okay. So, folks, I want to get everybody closing thoughts, man. I get on here with y'all, man. I be forgetting about time, man. And well, got old girl looking at me right now like I'm crazy.
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
Better get on out of here.
Yeah, so we're gonna get everybody closing thoughts. Hold on now. All right, okay, we'll start with oh, hold on. Before I start with this person, y'all know what I gotta do. Dennis Espinoza, sir, your closing thoughts.
Well, I think I've talked myself out. Just peace, love, joy, and happiness. That we could mellow out some of the restriction. Have some other things to talk about to express, but we'll save that for another day. Y'all have a good evening and hope your weekend was great.
You too.
That's the legendary Mr. Dennis Espinoza. And let me take a peek to see if he is taking that trip down the Hall of Knowledge. I call it the Hall of Knowledge when he goes down that hall, because he comes back and then there's something great that he says. Okay, we'll start with my man, Mr. Stamina MC. And by the way, guys, I actually Googled his name, man, and he's a musician, man. He straight up is a legit musician. Got a couple of videos online too, man. I was digging that one song, man. But Mr. Stamina MC, sir. Yes, sir. Your closing thoughts.
Which song did you listen to out of interest? Which one? Do you remember the name?
The one it was in black and white, man. It was you and another guy in there. I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
I'd tell you, man, it was pretty good, man. I think it's on the way. I think it's on the way, or no. What is it, man? It's you and what DJ Mark.
DJ Mark. Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's the tune that basically made me famous, quote unquote. But yeah, cool.
Yeah. Man, he got a whole YouTube channel, man, devoted to his music. Y'all didn't even know that, man.
It's not relevant. I'm a fan of MMA, just like everyone else. We're all the same. We're all the same.
I'm finna sub to his. I'm finna sub to his music channel. Okay, I just subbed. All right, Stamina MC. All right, my brother, your closing thoughts, sir, young man.
I don't really have many closing thoughts. I think just great weekend of fights. Another one of those kind of sleeper cards whereby it doesn't look like much to look at it on paper, but it was fantastic from start to finish. Such good fights, loads of finishes, really high level competition for the most part. Really, really cool stuff. All I'll end with, I guess, is just when Janaf was talking earlier, there was a certain part of the conversation was speaking about, when you see something that you don't approve of, you kind of feel compelled to just to say something about it, because to not say something is almost to be an advocate for it and to kind of co-sign or whatever. And it just reminded me of a very old saying that pretty much summed up that entire thought process. That the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. I never found out who was responsible for that phrase, but yeah, it just reminded me of what Jen F said, so I just thought I'd say it just so it was in the universe. And I'm done. Thank you, everybody. If ever you feel like I've said something that you don't like, Coach, then let's get to the bottom of it before you start swearing, please. And yeah, that's it. I'm done. Thank you and good night. Much love.
And just do the same to me, man. You know, I can take it. And I even apologize. I know if I'm wrong, I'll apologize, man.
No, it's fine. I'll never start swearing at you. Not at all. Because it just means I can't come back tomorrow if I do that.
Can I make one quick comment?
Yes, sir.
You have to pick what you do to fight those things that are wrong when it matters. You're not going to change the racist mind on chat room. You're just not going to. You can express your againstness of what they say to alleviate some internal pressure, and that's good. But you know, I say my bullets where they matter the most. And like I say, you're not going to change a racist mind on chatter. You know, coming at them on chat, you know, it's not going to affect them much at all. Pick your fights.
Now to make them think twice though before they leave a comment though.
I'll humiliate them. Still love you though, Dennis.
They're too stupid to be humiliated, General.
Nah, I show them some love. I show them some love. I send them a video. Tell them, hey, this for you, man. I appreciate you. You know. Now stop being in that dark place and come on to the light.
I'll put my foot on their freaking neck. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay. My man, General Africa, bro. Your closing thoughts.
Man, it was a good weekend of fights. I enjoyed it. Thank you all for coming on. Very special to me. So thanks for coming on.
Man,
that's it.
My girl, Mary Thomas.
Yeah, I think this card, you know, last night's card was pretty good. It brought a lot of oohs and ahs. Brought me a lot of oohs and ahs to that night. Those fighters were phenomenal. They put on a good show. They did what they should have. They came and did what they needed to do and everything. So I was impressed with their performances. And of course, DC. No one thought he would lose. So, I mean, hell, there's really not much to say about that other than Derek Lewis actually lasted a lot longer than most people thought he would. I feel like he surprised a few people. I feel like that because people kept saying he would get finished in the first round and he didn't. He actually stuck it out. You know, he fought. He showed a lot of heart in that fight, actually. Showed a lot of heart. He was really fighting as hard as he could. You couldn't tell. So yeah, there's just that. Jessica Ai, she needs to get her ish together. Well, of course she won't. She'll just keep digging herself a bigger and bigger hole like the crab she is, and that just is what it is.
God, dog.
There's people that just won't ever get better. That's it. You know,
man.
You gotta tear off its claws, basically. And it's bad.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm sorry. No.
Of General Africa's of his channel and everything that he's done. Can I just say how much stronger your personality has grown? At least to me. I mean, you went from a sub of Coach's channel, and I'm pretty sure you had your own channel too, but I didn't know that at the time when I first joined. But you went from that to like having your own mobcast to moderating everything like every Thursday and everything, and there's just so much more about you and so much more about your personality that I find out now than I did when you were just a sub to Coach's channel and when you would have just the panels and everything. So actually, yeah, like I'm glad I get to know more of you, like, and I'm glad I'm getting to know more of the real you and all your real passions and everything, and just how passionate you really are about everything that you and Coach have done. So Yeah.
Stop it, Mary. You got me blushing over here. One of my friends, he's like, you got me. I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate it. You know, Coach got me to step out of my comfort zone. That's why, you know, I'm just trying to continue that. And that's why I love having all of you on. And I appreciate you guys. And I appreciate that to the fullest, Mary.
No
I
problem.
love you.
I love you too.
You know what? I'm on mine. Normally I don't do I don't normally do like a what's that? What are we doing? Oh yeah, a closing thought. But you know what? This is gonna be a message, okay? And it's a message to Sarge Eubanks. It's a short one, okay? Listen, the fans really make you who you are, you know? And when you spend time and you don't really appreciate the fans that have your back, see, people begin to formulate thoughts about you, you know? They begin to formulate these thoughts, and you know, people really don't know you. But see, you give us the ammunition to not like you because you kind of say certain things, you know, or you do certain things, and you totally annihilate the people that really try to have your back. You do that, and it's not anything. You know, sometimes I think you really just don't know that your personality just turns off a person that will want to follow you, and that's why you have so many people that's coming into your threads. And I'm just saying, you know, some of that stuff is not warranted for you. You know, some of that stuff you didn't deserve, but at the end of the day, it's about what you give out. It's about what you put out there in the universe. You know, if you put certain things out there in the universe, it's gonna come back on you, and it always comes back tenfold. And you'll look up, you'll look down, you'll be down so far, and then you'll have to look up. And when you look up, then you start seeing the clouds. And when you see the clouds, you see heaven. So the thing of it is that you can't treat people. You can't treat people, I guess, people that support you, you know? That's my whole thing, you know? Because I can come on here and I can defend your style and I can tell you what you do. You know, I can say that, you know, I like you as a fighter. But, you know, having everything and having the world don't mean anything if your character and your personality can't match up with the person that you're really supposed to be. So that's all I got to say, you know.
That's just the way that is.
That's just the way that is. Well, guys, I'll come on. George, it is a love train. Yes, we love everybody. It is, man. It's a love train.
George.
Yeah, man. It's a
George is
great
like, it's
song.
not love.
George. But, you know, I'll come back on tomorrow and then we'll discuss. I actually want to discuss the future of the strawweight and the bantamweight division because, guys, the bantamweight division it's been dry. Like, there's nothing going on really within that division that we can talk about. So I'm gonna come on tomorrow and we're really gonna talk about the future of the bantamweight division. You know,
We've
So-
renamed it now. It's called the Phantom Weight Division because there's ghosts in there. That's all.
God, dog. Yeah,
That's a cool one.
yeah, the bantamweight division. Well, hey, it'll definitely be a good topic, y'all. And I think a lot of y'all maybe want to come in and just, you know, let's get in and talk about that, man, because I don't know what's gonna happen to that division, you know, because ain't nobody there. Everybody's out doing stuff.
I thought I was the only one who noticed that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The whole entire year, like, you know, ever since Amanda became chair. Not saying it's Amanda's fault. It's not really her fault anyway, because people have been out having babies and injuring themselves or just enjoying the fruit of the labor, whatever, you know. Just the people in that division. But to be honest, I mean, that is the oldest women's division that's in the UFC right now. Not saying it's an excuse for it to be dry, but you know, when you have something that's been running for as long as it is, it's gonna have its dry spells sometimes. So, I mean, that's just it. It'll kick back up soon, I think.
I mean, okay, this is obviously tomorrow's conversation, but you know, the whole point of them putting in the bantamweight division first was that was the division where that was the weight class where most women that were skillful enough could successfully fight. So what happened between then and now, whereby all of a sudden skillful women are suddenly like 20 pounds lighter? Like, how has that happened that over time skillful fighters are now not there anymore?
Because some of them have been much smaller than, like, and some of them have been heavier than that. See, the truth is, even though the people, they thought that the average woman that fights professionally and has success there weighs an average of 135, that's clearly not the truth, because you have women that want to be in featherweight now, and you have women that want to be in flyweight now that are too heavy for strawweight, too light for 135, or too heavy for 135, so they got to be in featherweight. So now I think what's biting the UFC and Dana White's toilet bullhead ass in the ass
What
is
the
that is that they're not realizing that there are more women out there who really don't weigh the weight that they initially set up for. So right
Oh,
now, they're running out of those women who actually can fit that. They're running out of those women with that, because the women who are already there, they're getting older, and their experience and everything, they're getting all washed up and ready for retirement. So you got to be looking for fresh fighters, and not every fresh fighter that you get is going to be a bantamweight, and that's just plain truth.
Wow. That's number one with a bullet. Mary Thomas. God dog. God dog. Well, guys, I'm gonna get off this stream because I've been on a mountain trail most of the day, man, and I gotta get rubbed out, man. I gotta get rubbed out. This ain't working. I'm sitting down, and nah, that mountain trail was brutal, y'all. It was
One place
brutal.
stamina as you go up.
Yeah,
stop.
I bet you
Stop.
I bet your stamina could get up that mountain trail. You can get up there better than I could. Tell you
I
that.
bet you I could have.
I bet, man, bet you could, bro. Easily get up there. All of y'all could, man. I had